go here and you're talking over me. What a brilliant professional start to this Toffee TV. Right, to this Toffee TV, we are looking back at last night's game against West Ham in the FA Cup. We're looking forward to this weekend's game against Manchester City in the Premier League. It is me, it is Barry, it is Big John over there in LA who's going to be telling us how it feels to have Steven Gerrard as his new team captain, supreme, whatever. We've got Luan from Everton, Brazil. We may have Aiden, maybe. We're not quite sure. It's in and out like something or other. Anyway, Barry, let me start with you. Last night, 1-1 against West Ham. It looked like it was going to be 5 defeats in a row, but we pulled it out somehow from the clutches of defeat. We got it there and we rescued it.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot better last night. I thought we started off quite well last night. Very open game, wasn't it? And important. It's important not to lose the game. But once again, trying to shoot ourselves in the foot and showing that we are totally inept off set pieces.
Yeah, set pieces again. That I mean, we've heard Martinez say again, and I think we've spoke about this in so many shows about how we've not heard it come from Martinez's mouth, but we've had other people allude to the fact that he's not a big believer in practicing set pieces either going forward or going backwards, and that is it's hurting us, isn't it?
Unbelievably so. Both ends it's hurting us because, you know, we get a corner and we don't look like we're going to score off one. And when we concede a corner, you're always concerned. I mean, West Ham, I think they must have had 16 or 17 corners last night, so it was inevitable that they were going to get, you know, one on the head of, you know, a decent header of the ball. We just don't seem to be able to defend them, although I seen a stat the other week that said we'd only conceded about 3 goals off set pieces, which is a bit mad because it always seems a lot worse. But you know, one of those things, you know, we've got to try and cut these silly errors out of our game, and if so, it'll start to turn for us.
Luan, if I come to you over there in Brazil, what did you think of last night's game?
Actually, that was weird because I couldn't watch the game. I just got into the highlights. Another friend of mine did the coverage of the match, and after I watched the highlights, I thought we improved, but we were still too weak in the defense. As Baz said, you know, set pieces are terrible for us, and I'm not sure how are we going to improve it. I don't feel like this is gonna change, you know, right now, and I hope this little improvement might continue on Saturday.
Yeah, it's definitely got to continue Saturday, and you know, I as Luan mentioned there, it's that weird, isn't it? Because it doesn't feel like it is going to be a quick fix, but it turned around. Seems so like it turned around so quickly for us, from going to a good side to a bad side. John, if I can come to you over there in California, you know, what's your thoughts on the way it's going at the moment?
Well, it's a little disheartening right now. We are definitely horrible from set pieces. Our passing is terrible. We are losing balls so cheaply. It's ridiculous right now. Yeah, it's a little scary, but you know, we gotta stick by our boys.
Of course,
stick with the team.
We've stuck with West. Let's put it that way. Baz, I just want to come back to you on something that's been brought up. Well, not just this game, but most games. It's leadership on the pitch, and the lack of leadership. Some people questioning Phil Jagielka's captaining skills. But I just think leadership as general on the pitch is really, really weak. When you're watching and you're seeing 21-year-olds trying to drag Everton through, that to me is a little bit worrying because that's not what we've been brought up with. We've always been brought up with strong leaders in an Everton team, and more than just one.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't just come down to Phil Jagielka, should it? It's not just about one player. It should be more than one player. They're all professional footballers. They've all got pride and everything else. I just think it is quite clear that we are lacking a leader at the moment, and until that's arrested, you know, we're going to have this kind of situation, or rather, we're going to have these questions, you know, as to whether or not there is any natural leaders out there. But you know, we've got some experienced players in there, and we're definitely missing someone who's a bit more vocal, certainly around referees.
Yeah, we've been really short, John. I mean, if there was anyone you could have the captain, would you leave Phil Jagielka as the captain, or would you look for someone else to take over from him?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think, you know, we were speaking the other day in the hangout we done the other day about Leighton Baines' ability to be the captain. People have mentioned James McCarthy. I think with James McCarthy, what you'd get is a natural leader on the pitch in terms of putting tackles in and running around. In terms of his vocality, I'm not quite sure he's the most vocal of players. I think Stephen Naismith's quite vocal, but he wouldn't be my captain. So there's a real lack, I would say, of mouthy players on that, you know, in that Everton side. You know, and look, if players were doing what they should be doing and playing to their ability, we wouldn't really even be talking about this, I don't think. I think we're looking for anything, and we're analysing absolutely everything at the moment because, you know, we're struggling so much. And I was thinking about, Ped, before. The real direness of the situation's only, for me anyway, really started since the Stoke game. Southampton was shocking, but Stoke, Newcastle and Hull were really, really grim, and you know, we've got to quickly arrest that, and last night wasn't a defeat, and hopefully it's a starting point for us.
Luan, if I could come to you in Brazil there, as leaders go, or captains, are you happy with Phil Jagielka?
Actually not, but I don't feel like we have in our team a true leader. You know, Naismith is a bit vocal, and maybe McCarthy as well. But McCarthy is more like a hard-working player. He's not a leader as well. Maybe Vainsy. I remember that game against Arsenal, where we beat them 3-0. He was really good in this character, in this aspect. But we still don't have a player that might command everyone else, or who would stand up of a referee. And we have too many referee mistakes against us, but no one could, you know, just have a go with some of them.
No, I think you're completely right, Luan. And John, last night we've seen another instance of that. I think it was Besic got into a little bit of an argument with the referee, with one of the West Ham players, and he was left on his own. No one went over and backed him up, and I think that really frustrates a lot of fans, that there's no captain or there's no leader to go over and sort of help players out. And what Luan was alluding to there last season was obviously when Leighton Baines had a bit of a go at Mikel Arteta, and you know, you could see how wound up and angry he was about it, and you don't see enough Everton players get angry, and that really annoys fans as well, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Jagielka is captain in name only. He doesn't stand up for his players. The only person I see stand up for players is Howard, and he's off the pitch right now. However, Howard will have a go at the refs, at other players for his team. Baines, I can see being a better captain than Jagielka, but still mild. We don't have a true leader, and that's again a little scary.
It is worrying, isn't it, Baz? Because you need leaders in this position, and what we saw last night was, for me anyway, I mean, I'll get your comments, I'll get all the comments on it, is Lukaku, I thought, was absolutely brilliant last night. He looked like he was prepared to run through a brick wall. The relief when he scored, and just his whole demeanour. But I also thought Barkley last 20 minutes, he was frustrating in the game, let's be honest, he was quite frustrating, but the last 20 minutes you could see that kid really was to drag Everton through. And that's what I was saying earlier, it annoys me that 21-year-olds are the leaders on the pitch. John Stones as well is another example of this. He's another player you see vocally, whereas the likes of Barry and Jagielka, they're going into their, they're sulking a little bit, and we've seen Jagielka after the game in his after-match, post-match comments. He seemed really sort of within himself, and that to me is not what a captain should be doing. A captain should be coming out, sticking his chest out and saying, right, we've got a draw, this is going to be it, hopefully, we've been rubbish, let's get on with it now.
Yeah, I think he looked down last night, but I don't know whether that's a case of he come out a few times this season and said that'll be what we need to kickstart our season, and I think he looked to me like he was very wary of saying anything last night, especially when we've got Manchester City at the weekend. I think it's quite easy to stand there and say that's the turning point now and we're going to win 5 games on the run, because we don't know, do we? It looks silly if you keep coming out telling us. We had this a few years ago, Ped, when we were struggling, and it was a different player every week that'd come out and tell us we'd turned the corner and we'd get beat.
Should he not be saying to us, at least, shouldn't he be sending a message to the fans and saying, listen, we're committed to this, we've got ourselves in this position and we're going to get out of it? What I seen last night was a player that didn't look like he wanted to be there, which is fine, that's not a problem, but at least fake it. Because Martinez is coming out every week and he puts a smile on, and he puts a smile on, he puts a smile on. And all I wanted from Jagielka was last night to just say, listen, we got you into this situation and we're going to do our best to get you out of it.
Didn't he do that in a newspaper interview a couple of days ago? He kind of said it. We questioned there from Greyhounds now on the right-hand side. I know you're going to come to the questions in a minute, but he says, it sounds mad, but we miss Phil Neville. And you kind of know what he means in terms of that rallying cry in the middle of the park. We certainly don't miss Phil Neville's slowness or running backwards or passes against Wigan in cup, quarter-finals, but maybe vocally and maybe what he's saying to get people together, maybe we do miss that. Look, Bobby can sit there with a cup of coffee and tell us everything's marvellous and we're all together. We can see from the outside that there's something not right, but there's no point sulking. If players have got a problem with him, that's the way it is. You get out there and you pull that shirt on and you pull your tripe out for professional pride, and you work for the fans who are the only ones that matter in all of this. Them players still get paid. We've got 2 lads here from the other side of the world, get up and watch Everton and things like that, and it's important to all of us as fans. They still get their 50 grand, 70 grand, 10 grand, whatever it is. We'll still be there when they're long gone, so it's about putting it in for us and nobody else.
Let's keep with the positives. Luan, what did you think of Romelu Lukaku's performance last night? Because personally, I thought he was brilliant. I thought it was his best game for a long time, and he obviously capped it off with a goal as well.
Yes, he looked brilliant. He looked world-class, finally, in this season. And it's good for him. I think he lacked confidence since the World Cup, because he had poor displays here in Brazil, and then I felt like he was, he missed this kind of security over him. And now, yesterday he showed some good skills. He scored a brilliant goal, I think, and maybe that's the right time for him to to shine. We need a player like him, playing well and being strong in the field.
Yeah, John. Obviously, what Luan just said there is, hopefully we're going to see the best now of Romelu Lukaku. Him and Ross Barkley I thought, as I mentioned, had good games last night. Does that raise your confidence for the season? That maybe now, if those two can click together and a couple of other players can click together, that they will be the catalyst to get us out of this mess we found ourselves in?
I actually thought Barkley was fairly poor yesterday. He
behave yourself.
He
Just a question.
Given away so cheaply, so cheaply. There were some horrible passes. He had some moments of brilliance, and I'm not going to deny that he was brilliant at times.
I agree with you.
Yes.
He just overall, I think overall performance wasn't quite there, and that's that's not good. But Lukaku was 110% yesterday. He was all go. He was trying so hard, and he deserved that goal. And that goal was brilliant. It was a beautiful goal. So
Luan, if you
I
want to
think he
jump
did
back,
great.
Luan, if you want to jump back in, go on.
As he said, Barkley loses a lot the possession, and I think that is his major weakness. Not sure if you guys agree. And
No, I agree, yeah.
I was going to ask if he was playing left wing again.
Well,
I
he
did.
was. He was sort of playing left-sided again, which is another massive frustration. But I
Yes.
agree with both of you saying. I didn't think he had a brilliant game, but what I thought was the last 20 minutes, he showed the guts to try and dig Everton out the game, and that's what I was.
He did.
That's what I was trying to.
But-
That's what I was trying to get across is that other players who were supposed to be the leaders in the team weren't showing that ambition of what Ross Barkley would do. Because the thing about Ross Barkley is. And I'm sure people will agree and people will disagree, is that it doesn't matter how many times he loses possession or he tries something that doesn't work, he will continue and keep trying.
Yes.
And we've seen late on, Baz, I mean, the one late on that he almost put in the postage stamp in the top corner and the keeper's made a good save, reminiscent of the QPR. That's him all over, isn't it? While he's young, he will be massively frustrating.
He will, look, the biggest thing he's got is his ability to run at players and drive at players. He's got good, quick feet. What annoys me about him is he does the hard work so easily, and it's the simple stuff that lets him down. I think that's what both the lads are trying to allude to there.
Yeah.
With the final pass, they do everything right, and a simple 3-yard ball he gives away. That one where he went on a run and had, a cracking shot. Arguably, he should have rolled that across the box. There was 3 players in there, but that's what he's going to do. I'd rather see him go on a run and have a shot than give the ball away. So, look, he's still relatively young in terms of games he's played, but he's 21, and I remember Wayne Rooney at 16, 17, knowing exactly when to pass the ball and exactly when to go on, and it's something that Ross needs to learn quickly, but essentially for us, he's certainly got the ability to be... our best player and a very, very important player for us.
Absolutely.
What do you think of Brian Oviedo's performance last night?
I thought first half, the first 10 minutes he was okay, and then he went right off it. But I thought the second half, he got into the game a lot more. I thought when the shackle came off when we went 1 down, I thought he actually tried to carry the fight to West Ham more than probably anybody else really.
Yeah. Any other players
Other than
standing for you last
Lukaku.
night?
Sorry, Romelu Lukaku, by far for me, I said this on Twitter today, by far his best game in an Everton shirt for me in terms of influence in a game of football. He was strong, his touch was good, he was pushing people out the way, he was beating men, he was having shots, and he was still there in the 93rd minute, 92nd minute to get us the goal. So a lot more like that, please, Ron.
John, anyone else stand out for you last night? Maybe Mo Besic, maybe? I thought he had a great game.
Besic has been a phenomenal player for me. I think he's consistent. His passes are top notch. He is a class midfielder, and I think he's gonna move our team forward. I think with McCarthy healthy and Besic, I thought Barry was average. He had great moments of defense, but he also had poor passes. He was a half and half player. And
you used a nice word,
enough.
average. Use that nice word, average. I'll let you have that. Luan, are you the replay is in a week's time? Are you confident that we can go down to their ground and get a win?
Not yet. I can't. We've been too frustrating this season, and I hope this City game might help me about it because
Yeah.
we had similar situations during the season, and I just can't
Can't commit. You can't commit to it.
Yes, exactly.
That's fair enough. Right, let me just get some of these questions out the way before we move off this game. Danny Knowles says we saw some of what Lukaku was all about against West Ham purely because he played to his strengths and he wants it in front of him to run onto and bury a chance. Baz, I mean, we did see a lot more directness last night, didn't we? There was a lot more route one at times, a lot more playing it early over the top, and that certainly did help Romelu Lukaku.
Definitely. I thought we looked a lot better last night. I thought, we all want to see good possession football, but it's the hardest kind of football to play when you're not confident. So it's important that we mix it up. And I think the biggest beneficiary last night was Romelu Lukaku, who was actually getting the ball into him. And it may be the way we have to go to get the best out of Rom.
Yeah, I certainly would agree with that. We need to mix a little bit more. Couple on set pieces. It's set pieces as a whole. We get free kicks in dangerous positions, and instead of crossing, it ends up going back to the goalie. It's quite frustration. That's from Brownie EFC. Danny Knowles again's been on and said, what annoys me about the opposition set pieces is the lack of leaving a player on the halfway line. We bring everyone back all the time, leaving no option for a breakaway when it's cleared, or someone to hold the ball up to let others into play. Yeah, I fully agree with that. Greyhounds. Yeah, it has. Yeah, it was the whole time. David Moyes was in charge as well. Have we just turned into the Wigan team of 18 months ago? John, have we turned into the Wigan team of 18 months ago?
Not yet. I think we still have a lot of fight in us. It's questionable, but I don't think we're there yet.
Cumbrian Toffee has said, thought Jags was poor last night. Is it time to drop the captain, maybe sign Winston Reid in January? Baz, Jagielka, was he injured last night?
He's been injured for 4 or 5 games, so I believe, as Gareth Barry is, so one of them. But, you can criticise as much as you want, really, but the fact of the matter is, whether we like it or we don't like it, whether we want to use it as an excuse or we don't, is that we've got 3, 4, 5 players playing when they really shouldn't be playing, and it's one of those things at the moment.
Just a second.
Go ahead.
The Brazilian supporters of Everton told me that Jags was the worst player on the pitch yesterday. So that might, that means a thing.
There you go. I think that says it all, really, doesn't it? Moving on to the Manchester City game, obviously Saturday. I mean, it's not an easy game. We all know that Man City are in fantastic form, but if there is an opportunity to try and change the way the season's going, there's no real better game, is there, Baz, to go and beat the champions at home. I mean, the crowd will be up for it. It's already a sellout. So, there's no excuse to go in there and put the effort in. I mean, maybe we won't get the 3 points, but there's no excuse to, if the players don't put it in on Saturday, then we've got real problems.
Yeah, there's no reason why we can't beat them, and I actually think we will beat them. We normally beat them at home, bar last year when we didn't want to win. But it's a perfect opportunity, isn't it, to put a few things right, and the crowd will be up for it. There'll be hopefully it'll be a bear pit, and it's a chance for players to prove that they're good footballers. Hopefully, I think John Stones will come back in alongside Jagielka at centre back. Baines will be fit and come back in at left back. I think hopefully James McCarthy will be fit and come back into the midfield, and Lukaku should be full of confidence. So there's no reason why we can't beat them. I just hope and pray that he plays Ross Barkley down the middle and not wide.
Yeah, you'd expect, Luan. I know you're sceptical, and you've got every right to be, but you'd expect some fight, wouldn't you? Come the weekend, and really, I suppose this game's a bit of a bonus game, isn't it? Because if Everton were to lose, then that's what most people are expecting. But if you can get something out of this game, it would be absolutely massive.
Yeah, I think so. The point about playing City is that Pellegrini outplayed Martinez in the last occasions, so that would be our biggest issue on Saturday. We need to change some tactics to to win, because even if we played well against them on last May, but we let us score. Alcaraz was terrible that day. but we need the fight and we need to. Alcaraz is always terrible. Sorry.
It
But
doesn't matter what country you come from. Alcaraz is terrible.
yeah, in this case, it's not just the fight. We will need Martinez' intelligence on Saturday, especially.
That's John. I suppose the difference with this season's game against Man City and last season's game against Man City is this season we actually want Everton to win, unlike last season when we all just wanted Man City to win.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We need a win. We need a win for our confidence, for our fans. They need to win for their fans because right now there's a lot of dissent in the support, and Everton just needs to pull it together. They need to win for their fans.
Definitely, absolutely, definitely. There's all we can do is hopefully have a spine, have Stones, Jagielka in that team, and just. I don't know what you can say, Baz. All we can do is go out there and put a shift in, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and just hope the FA don't continue their stitch up.
Well, there was another one last night. The Eto one last night was incredible. He'd been on the pitch for 2 minutes as a word with the referee and gets booked. Absolutely mad.
Even the Lukaku goal, the header. Sorry, but there's never in a million years is that a foul. So
yeah.
Anyway, don't get me started on referees.
Right, let's have a couple of more questions. Brownie FC says, how good was Oviedo? I think he deserves a run in the team. Anyone like to pick that one up?
I think so. I think Oviedo is a hungry player. I think he loves the club, and once he starts playing week in, week out, he might he might have his place. Even if
An interesting one. It's an interesting one, just obviously with Baines, and that leads me on to my next question. Do we believe these garbage to Liverpool rumours? Surely not. From Brownie FC, Baz.
Knows.
Who knows? Okay, fair enough.
How do you guys say in England? It's like absolute rubbish, something like that.
I wish.
I don't believe it. Sorry, I don't think
Nothing's
so.
rubbish right now.
Oh, well, wait. What we do know is that he hasn't signed a contract, and that is more worrying than anything as far as I'm concerned. Danny Knowles has said Barkley is to play alongside McCarthy and Besic in more of a free role, like against QPR. Naismith has to be behind Rom. John, do you agree with that at all?
I do agree with McCarthy and Besic over McCarthy and Barry. I think Barkley in the middle actually is more beneficial than Naismith. I think Naismith can play wide, where I think Barkley needs to be in the middle. That's just, I'm not a coach or a manager, but that's where I would put him.
I agree.
Is an interesting one now, John. I'd love to have your opinion on this to see if it differs from ours. Obviously, we've had this one. Any news on a goalkeeper? Do you think anything will happen before the weekend? That's from Mike De Perito. Not really sure on that one, Mike. But John, on the goalkeeping situation, if Everton were to buy a new goalkeeper, what do you think that means for Tim Howard?
I think it actually is beneficial to Tim Howard. Gives him a little push because he's been poor this year. He needs a little competition. Robles is piss poor. He's rubbish. He stands with his feet in concrete, and it is horrible. It is horrible. So I think a quality goalkeeper is going to push Howard harder, and to a position where on the USA national team, he's got great goalkeepers pushing him to be the best. In Everton, he doesn't have it. He has no competition.
I thought Robles was a little bit better last night, Baz, but I mean that's not
Barely.
too hard, is it?
He was better last night. Like you say, he needs games. As a goalie, it's really difficult to come in and play one game every 6 months and expect to set things on fire. But I personally believe we need a new number one anyway. I think Cahill is very much on his way out, and I think someone Look, if we get a goalkeeper who becomes our number one, it'll do one or two things for Howard. It'll either make him get his top form back and know that he has to play, or we'll get him out the door. But it's the way it is. But look, we're going forward, and there's a few in there that need changing, and we'll see. We get this goalkeeper sorted in the next 10 days. Who knows?
A couple more come in from Cumbrian Toffee says, something not right with our play. Looks like a team who thinks it's in a relegation battle. Look nervy in possession. Barkley giving the ball away far too cheaply. Only Lukaku, Bessage, Javier and Robles deserve any credit. Hopefully Barry will be rested and McCarthy and Bessage start against Manchester City. We'll wait and see on that one. Here's an interesting one. Tim Cahill on loan. Please get him just for the passion alone. He gets it, Brownie FC. Would any of you bring back Tim Cahill just for what he can offer in and around the dressing room and maybe coming off the bench last 10 minutes?
If he brings a new pair of headphones or a mic for you, then yeah, because you've just gone all roboty on us. No.
Continue.
No.
Anyone else think that? Anyone else bring Tim Cahill back?
I mean, he has passion. He does have passion. He has that. Is he past his prime? Mostly.
Yeah.
But he's still capable of that wonder goal, that fire. I mean, look what he did in the World Cup. That was the most brilliant goal of the World Cup. He still has it in him, and I think he can bring a little bit of passion back because he does bleed blue. He is an Evertonian.
I think, I don't know, I wouldn't bring him because even I know he's an Everton, he's a blue, and I love him, but you know he would fight for a spot in the team with Barkley or Naismith because he's not like a central midfielder anymore as he used to be, and he would miss a lot of pace, I think. So looking to the whole situation without passion, I would say that I wouldn't take him back.
Well, if you look at it,
Go on, John.
if you look at it, if Morales gets taken off, would you rather have McGeady come on, or would you rather have Cahill come on?
Well,
imagine if Martinez was going to put Cahill on the right wing. You know, it could happen.
Let's
Martinez,
move on. Let's
it
move
could
on,
happen.
Ped.
That's the point.
Yeah. Socal Evertonians just said, John, tell us your Tim Cahill story from the Galaxy game this year. Go ahead, John.
Okay. Well, I went to the Galaxy game. They were warming up. I was, of course, wearing my Everton kit, and every time he looked over, I was flashing my badge, kissing my badge. Always, yelling out, Timmy, we love you. And as they're going off the pitch for after warm-ups to go into the locker room, he takes a couple steps, turns around, runs back to me, jumps over the adverts, and comes and shakes my hand and says, nice to meet you. Thanks for being a supporter. So it was class. Yeah, so I was just in awe. I couldn't believe it. And yeah, so that was my story.
That nicely moves us on to the other question I wanted to ask you. And one of the reasons I wanted to get a Blue who was also a Galaxy fan on. Now, obviously, every man and his dog knows that Steven Gerrard has died and arisen in California. So, how does it feel to be a Galaxy fan and an Everton fan, knowing that a player who has caused so much heartache to Blues in the last 15 years is going to be playing for your team?
Oh man, I've been getting so much flack for this. Ever since it was announced, I've been getting crap from everyone. It's rough. Do I like him as a player? No. I don't. I think but can I accept the fact that he's quality? Yes. I think he is a quality player. Do I like him? No. Will I be buying his jersey? No. But will he step in that role that Donovan's leaving? Yeah, I think he will, and he'll be phenomenal for the Galaxy. and as much as I hate to say it, it pains me because I really don't like him. But I think it was a smart move by the Galaxy to pick him up. I mean, he will be quality for them.
Could you not buy a shirt just so you can burn it?
Oh man, I can't. The thing is, I was a Galaxy fan first, and then Everton chose me.
That's
So I can't burn a Galaxy jersey.
What happens if he gets Landon Donovan's number? I mean, what then? I mean, that's even worse, isn't it? I mean, what if you...
I think because right now Sarvis has his number. I think Sarvis will switch over to 10, and he'll keep his 8. He's got to stay 8. He's got to stay 8.
What is the feeling amongst, I mean, other fans? Is there? I mean, obviously the other guys in this California supporters club there. I mean, is there a feeling amongst other fans that they might just not go the game for the next 18 months and maybe just wait till he's gone?
I've heard of people who don't want to go to Galaxy games anymore. There's a new franchise starting in MLS, LA Football Club, but that's not for 2 years or so, 3 years.
They're unbeaten, at least.
Yeah. So I think people will be making a switch, but Gerrard's contract will be over by then, so
yeah.
It's tough to say. But I heard people not going because of it, and I don't know. I have a strong feeling of you support your local team, you support your local, and I can't not be a Galaxy fan because of it.
I think he'll be fantastic.
Yeah,
I do.
I'm split on it. I don't know if he will be, because we've seen this already. We've seen players go over to America thinking it's going to be easy, and when they get over there, they find it very tough. And he's not.
But I agree with Barry.
I think he is a brilliant player, but the thing about it is he's only gone for 18 months, and I think it might take him his first 6 months to get used to it. So we may only have one good season in the MLS. So
I think he'll be doing what Beckham did, is extend his contract once he realizes that it's suiting him and that he continue to make $6 million a year. I think he'll extend that and get the most he can of it, because he in that midfield role he's playing, he's not going to be as active. He's going to be doing the long pass, the long cross. He's going to be quarterback. Yeah, he's going to be quarterbacking, and that's what Beckham did. He didn't have to be as fit.
Interesting. We'll wait and see with bated breath. Hopefully, the New York manager got sacked today, so Cahill will be starting first for the Red Bulls, and the Red Bulls will smash the Galaxy everywhere. Sorry, John. Hopefully, it'll reinvigorate them. Right, guys, before I let you go, let's have a prediction of all of you for Saturday's game. Baz?
2-1 Everton.
Ooh. John?
1-1 draw.
Lewin?
1-0 Everton.
Oh, quality. I'm going for an 8-0 victory for Everton. Thanks very much, guys, for being part of Hangout. If anyone out there wants to get involved, just let us know on Toffee TV1 on Twitter. Thanks for all your questions. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much.